Okay, I'm just going to show you how to fix mistakes in this one. Just a quickie. I don't want you to be panicked about any of these threads. I know people become very precious with what they're doing and the work that they're doing, and rightfully so, because you've spent a lot of time and energy on your work. But if you become too precious, you get frightened of doing anything, and then you don't expand. And then it's not fun either. So I just want you to know, no matter what you do, you can fix it or you can work around it, and it doesn't matter. It's all fine. So I'm just going to do on here a couple of thread stitches. Ooh. Mistake number one. And a couple of stitches very quickly. This is using that metallic thread, which is actually a bit of a pain to use because, which is why it's good to show for the mistakes, it catches on everything because it's really coarse. And it doesn't really hold together. All the little bits of threads don't hold together very nicely at all. So they go all over the place, and it's a bit of it. So you'll be fixing your blooming mistakes from this a lot, I tell you. Okay. So, oh, let's just say it done a couple of, and then everything's got a knot in. Oh, everything's terrible, and why isn't it making that much of a mistake when I want it to? That's just typical, isn't it? Right, so just imagine it's got all cotton and everything, and the threads have gone in the wrong place. Well, the worst thing that can ever happen is it's gone wrong and you unpick it. That's it. So you've made your mistake, and we're just going to unpick it. You cut the back. Get your needle wherever, just pop that. Use the blunt end of your needle where the eye is, because if you use your pointy end it's going to stab through. Just get a nice blunt end. Just unpick it. You can do unpick on the top. Pull it out. It's fine. If your needle, that's how easy fixing something is. You just unpick it. Now you can see that there's going to be some holes there. If you use something like a cotton or a linen, the weave goes back quite nicely. Look, I've just done that and the weave's gone nicely into it. If you had if you did that a lot on here, say it'll prove me wrong now, but if you did that a lot on here, sometimes it can stay. I mean, this one's actually quite a nice one. Yeah, see, I told you. But you can make quite bad holes in it if you've used a really big needle. So don't attack it. Just slowly get your needle out and slowly unpick it. Don't force anything because it's not meant to be properly badly forced. If your needle becomes all cotted, one thing that often happens is you get a thread on your needle that's kind of done this, and you think, why has it done that? And how do I do it? Generally, it is a matter of just pulling it apart. Sometimes you pull the hole, you pull the loop, and it will come out. It's normally because the threads all just become knotted. So sometimes you can just pull it to one end, either side. That will straighten out the threads so they're not all cotted, and then you'll be able to pull them out nicely. To stop it getting cotted around the needle quite a bit, when you've got your thread on coming through, if you've done a lot of stitches, just let the needle hang from your work and just let it untangle when you're pulling it through and you're doing your next thread. Now and again, every say 5-10 stitches, particularly if you're using a big what's the word? Big thread, you know, the big thread, or wool thread, or a thread with like say 5 or 6 different strands to it. They can become cotted quite easily, so just let it hang and stroke it down, and it'll stop getting cotted. So that's nice and easy, just fixing mistakes. Another thing when you're doing your patterns, some things are permanent when you're transferring patterns, but you see, what I do to try and avoid worrying problems with mistakes is don't use things that are permanent. So if you're doing your design or drawing onto your fabric, don't use pencil because that's permanent. Use something like a water soluble pen and do your sketching like that, because it doesn't matter if you muck up. Who cares? Because you just use water to get rid of it. So here's my water soluble pen. I'm going to do just a nice drawing of some flowers. And then you kind of, oh, I don't want it in that position. That's not the position I meant for it to go at all. And so all you do is you get your water spray, give it a squirt, and it's gone. And then you don't have to panic. If you want to use pencil on your design, that's fine, but do it over the blue line once you've got your marks and everything. Just use things until you're really certain of where you want to put marks that you can get rid of. And the same with the stitches. The stitches, nothing bad can happen. If you put the line in the wrong bit, just unpick it and do it again. It's a bit frustrating and time consuming, but it's not like the world ended. So just don't panic. Everything is peachy and lovely. So that's about fixing mistakes. Nice and easy. Don't use biros, don't use pencils. Use water soluble pens, and don't panic. Don't pull on stitches and make everything worse and rip fabric. Just keep calm, pick the stitch and start again. Easy, using the blunt end when you're unpicking the stitches. So there you go. There's no problems, no pressure, fun.